the most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real-world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Welcome once again, race fans, here to the Turn 3 Racing Network. As always, I am Darkside Dave in the cave here in the Turn 3 Racing Network booth, ready to bring you all the great racing action here. Race number 3 for season number 1 in the WallBangers Truck Series here from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Things gonna kick off here. Just a few moments, we'll get ready to go. Qualifying here for the Gambler 150. Drivers finishing their final few laps here in happy hour. Shaking down the cars for the final time. Who is going to walk away with the pole here tonight? Who can dethrone the fast man for the past 2 weeks, going back-to-back race wins? Alexander Encarnacio, and he sits top of the speed charts right now with a quick time, 29.99 in happy hour. Can he translate that over into a quick qualifying time? Well, we'll just have to wait and see how it all shakes out, how the field fares here tonight. How you doing? How you feeling? Thanks for joining us here tonight on the Turn 3 Racing Network. There you see a little bit of your race information for tonight's Gambler 150 in the WallBangers Racing Truck Series. Air temperature 65, track temperature right there in line 66 degrees, so a lot of grip out there on track as the red flag flies on happy hour. Green flag being displayed now as the track has been opened up to qualifying. Scott Taylor, Alexander Encarnacio jumping out there on track early here in this qualifying session. So I tell you what, let's go out there as that 94 gets his car up to speed and ready to go here. Gonna join the racing surface right there. Scott Taylor on his time lap. Trevor Massetti also out there on track. Chris Claude, Jerry Hutchinson, Zach Wilson, and Austin Encarnacio also out there on track. The 5 of Ryan Ezell. So we'll jump around, catch a few of these drivers here. Jump back now with that 51 of Scott Taylor. There you see him just now crossing the line behind Alexander Encarnacio. He's the first one to begin his first time lap. Chris Claude, Robert Nestor. There you see that double mint 8 machine. That Ford F-150 looking nice and clean through turns 3 and 4 going to cross the stripe to begin his first time lap. And as some of these drivers begin to put down their time lap, we'll throw some of your qualifying information up for you over there on the left-hand side of the screen, so you can follow along just like we do here in the production booth. There you see the 8. That's his numbers as Encarnacio goes top of the speed charts. Chris Claude now taking that top spot away with a 30.99. Robert Nestor on track right here. Wrigley's double mint Ford F-150. Can he take the top spot away? The 3 of Trevor Massetti now grabs that spot. Ryan Ezell goes second. Nestor going to cross the line for third. Now we'll jump back with Austin Encarnacio in the 99 machine as he comes off of turn 3 and 4 here on his first time lap. Where's he going to shake out? Alexander Encarnacio back to the top of the speed charts. Quick time, 30.34 second time lap for him. Waiting for some of these drivers to put down their second time laps. Beginning his first time lap now is that 99 of Austin Encarnacio. Trevor Massetti putting down a faster time, but not good enough to bump that 94 off of the top of the speed charts. We'll jump back now with Chris Claude. He's done his time laps. Jeff Carson gonna come across the line. Let's see where Carson shakes out. First time lap for Carson as he makes his way off of turns 1 and 2. Austin Encarnacio still out there. Gonna go now third on the speed charts. First time lap. Gonna shut it down here with that third place. Now make it fourth as Michael Sheffield slots in third place for his first time lap. Where does Carson in the 9 go? Jeff Carson bringing his 9 machine across the stripe. Going to slot in the 10th position for his first time lap. Randy Cornwell, Michael Sheffield out there. They're sitting pretty. Sheffield bringing his machine to a slow. Going to slot in third here in this qualifying session. Reaching the 3-minute mark out of this 10-minute qualifying session for the Gambler 150 in the WallBangers Racing Truck Series live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Carson going to cross the line for the second time. Where's he go? He's going to move up, but only to 10th. Brandon Regal, Brian Fine out there. So let's jump out. Tell you what, let's take a look now with the 7 of Jordan Westfall as he's on his time laps. '21 truck drivers to the track trying to tackle this high-speed, high-stakes track here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Jordan Westfall beginning his first time lap. Let's see where the 7 can shake on down. Can he dethrone the man at the top? The king right now in the WallBanger Racing Truck Series. Alexander Encarnacio sitting on top of the speed charts right now. Quick time, 30.34. He's been to victory lane back-to-back so far this season. Who's going to put a stop to it? Can it be Jordan Westfall? Going to cross the line. 8th for his first time lap. 30.53. Got to make up 2/10. That is something that can be done on your second time lap. Westfall's got to be on it. Jerry Culver, Garrett Davis, both out on their time laps now beginning. Looks like we've got about 3 drivers yet to put in their time lap. Scott Taylor, Craig Burns, Steve Krappel also out there yet to put in his time lap. Westfall going to improve, but only good enough for 6. Brian Fine going to slot into the 13th position. Garrett Davis in his 69 truck. Mickey Mouse. Man, I like some of his paints. Last week he had, I believe, the Flintstones maybe on his truck. I may be thinking of something different. Little Mermaid on board with that 69 of Garrett Davis. I tell you what, we're going to get this one a little closer. I don't care what you think, race fans. Check that out. That is awesome. That's just pure awesomeness right there. Voted best truck of the week right there. Heck of a job there, Garrett Davis. I love it. Absolutely love it. Heck of a paint job, my man. 3 drivers yet to put in their time lap. The 18 of Steve Krappel, Craig Burns, Scott Taylor yet to put in their time lap. The 18 now beginning to roll off of pit road just at the 6-minute mark here in qualifying. So I tell you what, let's jump out there now with that 18 Traxxas Toyota as he begins his first time laps and his new number in the series. Krappel switching numbers here over to the 18, switching manufacturers as well. Let's see if this Toyota Tundra doesn't serve him a little bit better here. Gonna cross the line, begin his first time lap. So just a few more drivers left to go qualifying here tonight in the Gambler 150, the WallBanger Racing Truck Series. Krappel down the backstretch into turn 3 for the first time on the first lap of his qualifying. The 2 of Craig Burns out there on his qualifying lap as well. Let's see if Krappel can do anything with Encarnacio up there at the top. Krappel gonna go 8th on the speed charts first time lap. Where can Craig Burns shake out? And I do not believe Scott Taylor's gonna make a qualifying attempt. So we've got 3 minutes remaining here in qualifying. Can Krappel find some more speed out of that 18 Traxxas Toyota Tundra? Off of turn 4 for the final time here in qualifying. Can he improve? The 2 of Craig Burns gonna go 9th with his first time lap. Krappel gonna improve, but only good enough for 5th. Here comes the 2 of Craig Burns halfway down the backstretch in his Ford F-150, heading into turn number 3 now. Second time lap. Can he dethrone Alexander Encarnacio, or will Encarnacio start this race at the front once again? Coming to the line this time. The 2 gonna cross the stripe. Jumping up, but not far enough. Good enough for 7th position there on the second time lap for Craig Burns. And well, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, at the 8-minute mark here in this 10-minute qualifying session, all the drivers have put in their time, walking away with the pole position for the Gambler 150. Driver of that 94 machine, Alexander Encarnacio. And we're going to take this brief moment to step away from the track, pay a few bills, head down trackside for the national anthem. So don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We will be right back.
on stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. Oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rackets regular, the boats bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Jets flying over, field rolling off the grid. You know what time it is, race fans? It's time to run down your starting order for the Gambler 150. Live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Walking away with the pole position here tonight, the 94 of Alexander Encarnacio, starting just to his outside, the 3 of Trevor Massetti inside row number 2, the 1 of Michael Sheffield, followed by Austin Encarnacio, row number 3, the 18 of Steve Corbell, in the 22 of Randy Cornwell. Row number 4, the 2 of Craig Burns, and the 7 of Jordan Westfall. Row number 5, the 59 of Stephen Baldwin Jr., and the 23 of Chad Bessinger. Row number 6 here tonight, the 5 of Ryan Ezell, in the 8 of Robert Nestor. Row number 7, the 13 of Jerry Culver, and the 9 of Jeff Carson. Row number 8, Garrett Davis, Chris Claude. Row number 9, Brian Fine and Jerry Hutchinson. Zach Wilson, Brandon Regal, Scott Taylor round out your field for tonight's race. Chevy Silverado pace truck down and away. Green flag flies for the first time here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Drivers already underway for tonight's race. Stage number 1 gonna come to a conclusion at the end of lap number 40. Stage 2 at lap number 80. These drivers have 3 sets of tires down in the pits. When will they use them? Who's gonna get them? We'll have to wait and see how it all shakes out very early in the race. Your top 3 beginning to break away already. It's a 3-car pack at the front. Another 3 cars grouped up behind them. Single file running after that. Big mix-up back here just in front of Garrett Davis. Garrett Davis and Robert Nestor. There you see him battling it out right there. That's 69 taking the inside lane, looking to make his way around the field this time by. Back at the front of the field, there you see the racing action still going strong. Your top, I believe that's your top 7 or so. Top 8 actually breaking away from the field now. Craig Burns in that 2 machine. There you see him holding on to the back of this pack, holding on to the 18 of Steve Corbell, Michael Sheffield, Austin Encarnacio, Trevor Massetti, Jordan Westfall, Alexander Encarnacio now giving up the bottom lane. Here comes Randy Cornwell off of turn 4. He'll take the top spot at the line. Encarnacio moved out of the way, and new race leader here on lap number 4 out of the 150 scheduled in tonight's official race distance. These drivers making their way off of the corners onto the back stretch this time by. Close racing action here at the front of the field. Your top 8 still have not sorted themselves on out. Randy Cornwall leads the field. Jordan Westfall and Michael Sheffield right there in tow. Trevor Massetti losing a little bit of ground now, falling back to the 8th position in that 3 car there. You see him running the high line. He's going to give up the spot to Austin Encarnacio as Encarnacio takes the inside, going to take that 7th spot away. Nice and clean start here from Las Vegas Motor Speedway in the Gambler 150 field, still side-by-side racing at the front. Looking back through the field here, looks like all 21 drivers still underway. Nobody really having any issues. We'll check battles going on back a little further through the field. Here you go. Here you see Garrett Davis, Chad Bessinger, Ryan Ezel, Jerry Culver, Brian Fine, Robert Nestor. They're all packed up right here, battling for position. There you see the side-by-side battle just in front of them. Garrett Davis, Stephen Baldwin, they're battling it out for the 9th and 10th spot. Man, I tell you what, I like that Little Mermaid Chevy Silverado. Garrett Davis, my man, hats off to you for running that paint. That is awesome. Back at the front of the field, nothing to really to elaborate on except Cornwall and Sheffield beginning to break away from Jordan Westfall. Alexander Encarnacio falling back through the field just a little bit. There you see him running that inside lane, sitting in the 3rd spot, but he has lost a little bit of ground, a little bit of time to the drivers in front of him. And just as I say that, the pack begins to slowly reel back in. Those top 2 drivers, the 22 of Randy Cornwall continues to run that inside lane, has Michael Sheffield looking to the inside, not going to make the move just yet. Halfway down the backstretch, covering up the dive to the inside is the 22 of Cornwall. Sheffield right there on his bumper. Drivers beginning to get a little more single file here, and now the one looks to make the pass on the inside. Can Sheffield make the run off the corner? Truck gets a little bit loose on him there. Still in the hunt for the front, though, side by side into turn 3 with Randy Cornwall. Sheffield still digging on the bottom, has Encarnacio behind him. Westfall's back there as well. Burns, Crapel, Encarnacio, and Davis right there. Trevor Massetti and Chad Bessinger round out your top 10. Those drivers all still within 1 second of each other. But then you see that small 3-truck pack slowly beginning to gain on this battle going on at the front of the field on lap 11 into turn number 3. Nobody has the clear-cut advantage right now, working through the center of 3 and 4 back to the tri-oval. Now the one on the bottom trying to make it work, and here comes Encarnacio 3 wide, making a move on the bottom. The truck gets a little squirrely, coming back onto the, oh my goodness, coming back onto the track. 3 wide off of turn number 2, 3 wide, drag stretch down the back stretch. Here we go. Encarnacio tried it, not gonna work out. Cutting right back across the nose is that one machine of Michael Sheffield. Encarnacio looked to make a 3 wide move work last lap. It didn't work out. He's going to be able to recover and retain that 3rd spot, but he's going to battle for it as Craig Burns now looks to the outside, trying to take over that 3rd place spot. Looks like he's going to be able to do it by the time they get to turn number 3. Now fending off the fast number 7 of Jordan Westfall. Encarnacio, he's got a mirror full of very hungry drivers. And Garrett Davis, the 69, here he comes, breaking his way into the top 10, knocking on the door of a top 5, running in the 7th position here now on lap 14 out of the 150 scheduled in the official race distance. Stage number 1 gonna come to a close at the completion of lap number 40. Stage 2 at the end of lap number 80. Who's gonna walk away with the stage wins as your race leader Cornwell begins to slowly open up a gap, now growing to almost 0.3 of a second. But drivers still side by side. Big battle here, second through fourth. Two and almost 3 wide battle for the second spot, as Encarnacio tries to put his 94 machine into the middle. Not going to work out. He's going to give up the spot to Craig Burns. Michael Sheffield now battling for the second position. Encarnacio now forced to running in the fourth spot. He's got Jordan Westfall and Steve Crapell right behind him. Stephen Baldwin Jr., Garrett Davis, Austin Encarnacio, and Brian Fine now round out your top 10. Trevor Massetti, that 3 machine is dropping like a rock. Now 1 second off your race leader, down 9 spots from where he started tonight's race, running in the 11th position. Alexander Encarnacio with a good run, able to pass the 2 of Burns. Oh, and into the outside wall goes Westfall. Westfall scraping that outside wall on the exit of 2. Drivers making evasive maneuvers as Encarnacio made his way by Michael Sheffield and Craig Burns, and now he's looking to hunt the back end, that tailgate of the 22 of Randy Cornwall. And I tell you what, we've had a moment to get down there. Why don't we go on board now with the driver running in the 4th spot? Let's jump on board from the cockpit with the one of Michael Sheffield. Sheffield trying to chase down those top 3. Has the 18 of Steve Crapell right there with him. The 59 of Stephen Baldwin Jr. just behind him. Nice and smooth on the exit there. So great look at the way these drivers tackle these turns here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Now dropping all the way down to the bottom in 3 and 4 goes that one of Michael Sheffield. Big shout out to him and the entire crew letting us put that great onboard camera with him as he drives around this track here in sunny Las Vegas. Man, I tell you what, what a great place, right? I mean, you can go, you can gamble, you can see some cool shows and catch a race all at the same time. Maybe not the same time, maybe the same weekend, but man, I gotta get out there. That's all I'm gonna say. Alexander Encarnacio with a moment, he's gonna lose that second spot. Craig Burns going to take over the second spot as Encarnacio now has to fend off Michael Sheffield. And it looks like the truck's just starting to jump out from underneath some of these drivers, catching them a little bit off guard on the exit of some of these corners as we continue to have drivers all packed up. There you see a little further shot, giving you a little bit more of the action to cover all at one time. A little further through the field, back behind this battle at the front, Brian Fine, Austin Encarnacio, they're battling it out as well for position. Scott Taylor, Jerry Culver, Chad Bessinger. There you see these 3 drivers packed up trying to get to the front. They've got to run down the 59 of Steve Baldwin Jr., who is just at the tail end of that front pack. And while we find ourselves still under this green flag stint here at the start of tonight's Gambler 150, we want to take a moment to do some house cleaning, and it's going to be rather quick. 21 drivers took to the starting grid. All 21 drivers still out on track. All 21 drivers still on the lead lap. Back at the front, green flag still underway. Alexander Encarnacio trying to take that inside lane back to the second spot. Randy Cornwell liking what he sees in that side-by-side truck racing action behind him, as he's now opened up almost a 4/10 of a second race lead. And the more these drivers battle, the more he's going to step away from the field. Encarnacio battling tough with Craig Burns for that second position, and that has brought the Toyota of Steve Coppell right there in the fourth spot up to the bumper of Craig Burns. Now Coppell looks to the inside, gonna try to take that third spot away, and Encarnacio sets his sights on your race leader a little bit sideways off of 4 there for Encarnacio. He's gonna shake it back out, shake it back in line. It's Coppell digging on the bottom lane, nobody else down there on the bottom. Your top 3 all running the middle lane. Now Encarnacio jumps down to the bottom, gonna slot in just behind your race leader down the back stretch, catching the draft. Will he make a move? Not gonna make a move in 3 and 4. Now in the center, drops to the bottom. A lot of ground made up there on the exit of 1 and 2 for the driver of the 94 machine, Alexander Encarnacio, slowly closing in on Randy Cornwell, looking to take over that top spot again, as we are just about, loose big time moment here for Randy Cornwell. Big time save, big move by Coppell to get by Cornwall after Cornwall had a huge save off of turn number 2. That could have been bad. Alexander Encarnacio on the binders and not just completely spinning that 22 around once he's seen him get a little bit sideways, giving him enough room to catch it, and Cornwell doing a fine job at that, keeping the momentum and keeping the truck going the right direction. Not just doing that, but able to keep a spot in the top 5 after losing a ton of momentum, being almost completely sideways out of turn number 2. That gives us a new race leader once again back to the front. The 94 of Alexander Encarnacio leads the 18 of Steve Coppell. Craig Burns, Randy Cornwell, and Brian Fine round out your top 5. Familiar face, familiar place. Alexander Encarnacio now with a half a second race lead over the 18 of Steve Coppell, as Coppell's got to deal with Burns. The 2 digging on the inside with his Ford F-150. Randy Cornwell starting to come back to the front after losing a ton of ground and a ton of time, and there is a ton of trucks right behind Cornwell. They are all on the move now. The 18 looking back to the inside of Burns, gonna slide up. Little bit of a slide job going on here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway for the Gambler 150. Burns gonna slot in just behind that 18. Here comes Cornwall with the run, dropping to the bottom. That's going to move Burns up the track, but he's going to have the run on the exit. Will it be enough to keep him in that third spot? Yes, it is. Now that 22's got to be careful, because here comes the 98 of Brian Fine, the 3 of Trevor Massetti making a run back to the front. And once again, we just talked about Massetti about 10 laps ago. He was outside of your top 10. Now he is knocking on the door of a top 5 here late in the goings here. Lap 31 out of the 150 scheduled in the official race distance. Stage number 1 coming to a close here in another 9 laps. Completion of lap number 40 will throw the stage 1 caution. Stage number 2 coming to an end on the completion of lap number 80. And I don't think, big moment there, off track, back up on track. That could have been big time moment there. Gonna look back here. There you see those 2 drivers still shaking it out after a big time moment there by, I believe that was Jerry Hutchinson in the 12 with a big time moment through the tri-oval last time, back up on track, almost taking a few drivers with him. And I said that, no, it was actually this man right here, Stephen Baldwin Jr., going off track then back up on the track. No harm, no foul. I suppose, as nobody really entangled in any real incident there. Meanwhile, back at the front, here comes the 18. Alexander Encarnacio opened up the door to the inside, and Craig Burns off of the outside wall, off of turn number 2. Encarnacio now going to power back around that 18 of Kerpel. Kerpel getting the power move ran on him there, trying now to see if he can't make or repay the favor on that 94, dropping to the inside once again here in 1 and 2. Oh my gosh! Encarnacio squeezing that 18 down on the exit. Battle at the front for the race lead. As the laps wind down here in stage number 1, lap 35 out of the 40 scheduled here in stage number 1. We've still got, well, what's that, about 116 laps remaining here tonight in the Gambler 150. Who's going to get the job done right now? Alexander Encarnacio controls the field. He was your pole sitter. Can he make it 3 in a row? Picking up right where he left off, front of the field right now. 5 laps now remaining here in stage number 1 as Encarnacio's got to deal with Kerpel right there on his bumper. Right off of turn number 2, Randy Cornwell sits in third. Craig Burns is back and forth with Jordan Westfall, Trevor Massetti, Brian Fine, Michael Sheffield, and Scott Taylor, all hungry, all waiting to pounce if one of these drivers has a moment. We're going to take just a brief moment to look at this battle going on back here. Look at the amount of trucks, race fans. That's about, 7 or 8 right there, all packed up with each other. But now at the front, Kerpel looks to the inside. He's going to take the race lead down the backstretch. New race leader here in the Gambler 150 from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. The 18 of Steve Kerpel on at the front long enough. Got the job done with only 3 laps remaining here in stage number 1. Can he keep that 94 of Encarnacio behind him and walk away with those coveted championship playoff points for winning a stage? We'll have to wait and see how it all shakes out, but walking away now, gapping Encarnacio is Kerpel, so Kerpel not just grabbing the race lead, but walking away with it. Two more times around in stage number 1, and Steve Kerpel can put those points in the bag. He's got a half a second race lead as he works his way off of turn number 2. There you see that big scrum of cars just back there behind your top 3 drivers. And something might have happened to Encarnacio because he is falling into the clutches of Randy Cornwall. Cornwall might take away that second spot by the end of stage number 1. Final lap here in stage number 1 for the 18 of Steve Kerpel. Can he walk away with it? Looks like he's got it in hand. Nobody around him to challenge for that spot. Got a back marker just in front of him. Will Kerpel roll out of the throttle? Doesn't look like he's gonna stay right there on it and try to put this thing in the books. In the bag are the stage points here for the driver of that 18 machine, the Traxxas Toyota Tundra. Getting the stage points. Kerpel, fine job getting that right there. Looks like we may have had a few drivers with some incidents there at the end of stage number 1. We'll take a look here, seeing what happened with Scott the 69 of Garrett Davis and the 51 of Scott Taylor with some trouble. Take a look back here, see how all of that started. There you see, once again, Tough break. Coming to the end of stage number 1, contact between the 69 and the 51. That's going to send the 51 into the outside wall and down through the grass. We'll rejoin the race back live with the man of the moment walking away with the win here in stage number 1, driver of the 18 Traxxas M&M Toyota Tundra, Steve Kerpel. Well, and as these drivers all bring their trucks to pit road for service, we're going to step away for a brief commercial break here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be right back. Backtrack side as the field gets the one to go, doubling it up down the back stretch. Stage 1 in the books. Driver walking away with the points will bring the field back to the restart. That 18 of Steve Kerpel walking away with the stage points here in stage number 1. Stage number 2 ready to fire off, this time by. Will we see the 18 snatch those points again here in stage number 2? We'll have to wait and see, as that's about 35 laps away. Stage number 2 going to come to a conclusion at the end of lap number 80. Man, oh man. I tell you what, you ask and you receive. Big shout out to all the admins over here at WallBanger Racing Truck Series. Putting that Chevy Silverado pace truck out there for me makes my job a lot easier, not having to remember it's a Ford Mustang. On the gas, on the loud pedal, away we go. Green flag back in the air as Corpel steps away with a great restart. The 3 of Trevor Massetti looks to follow him through, looks to move from 4th to 2nd. Gonna be able to do so, no problem. Put the 3 of Massetti into that 2nd spot. Jordan Westfall right there in 3rd. The 22 of Randy Cornwall back there in 4th. Chad Bessinger looking to try to keep his 23 machine wound up on the outside, but Brian Fine gonna make the pass on the inside. Michael Sheffield and Alexander Encarnacio right there in tow. Jeff Carson gonna run in the 9th spot, and Austin Encarnacio rounds out your top 10 here tonight, as we're closing in on a third of the way through tonight's race here from Las Vegas Motor Speedway on the Turn 3 Racing Network. It's the Gambler 150. Who's gonna roll the dice here tonight? Who's gonna have the winning strategy? Can anybody hit the 777s in the jackpot? We'll wait and see if Encarnacio can make it a 3rd in a row. Oh, and contact! Around goes the 22 of Cornwall. He saved it! How in the world did he save it? Caution flag gonna fly, but we're gonna watch this one again. I don't know how he saved that truck. Oh my God. I don't know how he did it. Race fans, I have got no clue. We'll see if we can't catch that. He's 45 degrees sideways on the track, right in front of the field. Catches the truck, drives away. No incidents for anybody. Oh my gosh. I don't know. I seriously don't know how that 22 of Cornwall didn't wad it up in the rest of the field along with it after that contact with the 99 of 94 of Alexander Encarnacio. I apologize. Got him a little bit not a little bit out of shape. He was way out of shape there. And, well, I'm just going to say, a hell of a job saving that thing, man. Field back under caution here tonight after the contact between the 94 and the 22. Had the 22 sideways on the track in front of the field. Looks like the majority of the drivers going to stay out on the track. And, well, this gives us an opportunity to pay a few bills. So we're going to step away from the track for just a brief moment. Pay a few bills. You know how that goes. Don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be right back.
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
And, well, as promised, paid a few bills. Now we're back trackside here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Field gonna go around one more time before they get the 1 to go signal. The 18 of Steve Coppell still leads the field. He'll have the 3 of Trevor Massetti just beside him. Brian Fine gonna line up behind him. Alexander Encarnacio gonna line up second car outside row. Chad Bessinger and Michael Sheffield. Austin Encarnacio, Jeff Carson, Jerry Hutchinson, and Chris Claude will round out your top 10 on the restart here for the Gambler 150. Stage number 2 still underway, but field to a crawl for our second caution here tonight. Pace car lights are out. We're ready to go back. Green flag racing here tonight from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Oh my, race fans. This is about to get good. This is about to get busy. Drivers gonna fire it off once again. Who will have what it takes to take away the top spot here in stage number 2? Just a little under 30 laps remaining here in stage number 2. 28 laps to be exact. And Coppell has got himself sitting pretty in a fine spot right now. But is he in the right spot? Gets the control, the restart. But do you want to have to keep the field behind you the entire rest of the way here in stage number 2? We'll have to wait and see if Coppell can do that, or if Massetti may be fine. Encarnacio, Bessinger, maybe one of those drivers get to the front. We'll have to see how it all plays out. Chevy Silverado pace truck gonna duck off this time by, and we'll get set to go. Green flag racing once again. Trucks hit the restart box, and on the gas, away we go. Green flag back in the air once again. Coppell with a great start over Massetti. Brian Fine looking to the inside, trying to take that second spot away. Not going to happen. Closing the door is Trevor Massetti, dropping down to the inside lane. He's going to keep that 98 of Brian Fine behind him. Alexander Encarnacio going to slot in that 4th spot. Encarnacio, 4th car out there in line. He is looking for a way around the drivers in front of him. All over that 98's rear deck lid, looking to the inside off of turn number 2. 3 wide for a moment, thought better of it, slotting back into that 4th spot is the 94 of Encarnacio. He's got his brother Austin right behind him, and here comes that 23 of Chad Bessinger as well. Your top 6 all packed up with each other. Then another big group of trucks back behind them. Craig Burns, Stephen Baldwin, Zach Wilson, and Brandon Regal. They're battling for position back through the field. The 98 with a little bit of a connection issue for just a moment. That gets sorted out, but Coppell continues to lead the field. Lap number 55 into turn number 3. He's got a 1 truck advantage over Brian Fine. And now the Encarnacio brothers battle for a moment as Trevor Massetti tries to weasel his way between them. Not going to be able to do it. Nose to tail into turn 1. Austin Encarnacio all over Trevor Massetti. Encarnacio has found some speed at the top of the track. The field better look out. Here he comes with a big run into one right on Crapel's bumper. Brian Fine continuing to run that inside lane, now trucking hard on that inside lane. Drag race down the backstretch for the second spot. Bump into the corner from the 94 on the rear bumper of the 18 machine. The Traxxas Toyota Tundra struggling now at a 4. Inside lane prevailing, 98 leading at the line. Give Brian Fine a point for leading a lap, and the 94 is all over him. Now looking on the inside lane out of 1 and 2. Clearing the field with a great run out of 2. Your race leader, Brian Fine, in the 98, has the field in tow. And Alexander Encarnacio trying to close the distance, but cannot at the time. Trevor Massetti right there running third car inside lane. And my goodness, race fans, there's battles all over. We're going to go back to another battle just behind this front pack. There you see more battles on track. Zach Wilson, Randy Cornwell, Stephen Baldwin Jr., and Brandon Regal all battling right here. That's 9th all the way through 12th position. Those 4 trucks. Then another group of trucks battling for some spots as well just behind them. Oh, and contact! Contact in the 12 goes around. Jerry Hutchinson in the 12 machine goes around. We stay green flag, but oh my goodness, we'll take a look here. The 69 of Garrett Smith goes around him. Oh, and then contact and around. The 12 goes down into the inside wall, stuck into the inside wall, and that may be why the caution flag waited to come out. Now finally caution flag being displayed, but the damage has been done. Jerry Hutchinson involved in that latest incident. That's going to bring us back to a crawl back behind the Chevy Silverado pace truck and Brian Fine. Does he come to pit road or does he stay out? Who's going to come to pit road? These drivers switch tires already. They've only had the tires they started the race, and then 3 sets on pit road for the entire 150 lap race here tonight. So tire strategy is going to be big here tonight from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. We'll have to wait and see. Oh, and looks like we've got some trouble here. Some drivers running into the wall, trying to get the cars or trying to get their trucks slowed down here to pace speed. And no, your race leader going to stay out on track. Steve Crapel going to be the first driver to bring his truck down pit road and one of the only drivers to bring his truck down pit road. We'll keep an eye on time and scoring, see if Crapel gets any tires. Definitely going to get enough fuel. We'll just have to wait and see if he's on pit road long enough to get the 4 fresh tires because it's going to be a long stint to the end of this one. Almost 75 laps to the end of tonight's race in that final segment. So as I've already said, alluded to, the tire strategy going to be very vital, very important. Do you get the tires at the end of both stages and keep one for later? Because you're going to have to make one green flag pit stop in that final segment here tonight. Do you keep one for there? Or do you try to possibly somehow stay out and just keep running on one set of tires for absolutely as long as you can? Looks like most of the field on to pit road on lap 42, so 20 lap old tires. And it's going to be interesting because most of these drivers are going to come to pit road and get 4 fresh tires at the end of this second stage. And that's going to set up a lot of drivers with just one set of tires, and they're going to need it for their green flag pit stop. Things are going to get interesting, to say the least, here from Las Vegas Motor Speedway in the Gambler 150 and the WallBanger Racing Truck Series. Field makes their way off of turn number 4. Going to receive the 1 to go this time by Chevy Silverado. Pace truck lights will go out. Will get set. Excuse me. We'll get set to fire things off once again here from Las Vegas Motor Speedway in the Gambler 150 for the WallBanger Racing Truck Series. Who's going to get the job done here in stage number 2? We've already seen Steve Crapell bring his truck down to pit road. He'll start back deep in the field outside of your top 15. Can anybody keep Encarnacio away from the top spot? Once he's been there, he has been a hard truck to pass. Looks like tonight a few drivers may have his number, though. Encarnacio struggling to stay up there in that top spot as the 98 of Brian Fine has a little bit of a connection issue for a moment. So we'll check in here with the 3 of Trevor Massetti, as Massetti will line up second car inside row just behind your race leader Brian Fine. Austin Encarnacio going to line up just behind his brother Alexander right there. Both of the Encarnacio brothers on the outside row for this restart. Who's going to take it into turn number 1? Chevy Silverado pace truck ready to duck off this time by, and we'll get set to go back. Green flag racing once again. Hard left-hand turn now ready to happen. There it goes. Out of the way, waiting for it. On the gas. Away we go. Firing off. Brian Fine gets a good jump. 1.5 truck lead over the field. By the time they cross the stripe, the 3 of Trevor Massetti going to take that second spot away without any hesitation or trouble. Out of Encarnacio, both of the Encarnacio brothers going to slot in third and fourth, going to step away a little bit further from the field here, give you a little bit more of the action on screen as the field makes their way through turns 3 and 4 back to the tri-oval now. Crossing the line, Massetti looking to lead a lap. Put the 3 on top of the leaderboard, lap in hand. 94 of Encarnacio just behind him. Brian Fine trying to make that outside lane work, falling right now into the clutches of the truck drivers just behind him. Brian Fine has to deal with both of the Encarnacio brothers, and then he's got to worry about that one of Michael Sheffield coming up as well. Checking in with a driver that's down through the running order right now after just a splash and go stop. Steve Crapell gave up 10 positions when he hit pit road. Now running back in the 15th spot, and we've got side-by-side racing action for the second spot on track. Massetti leads the field, but here comes the run by Encarnacio on the inside, trying to make the pass. He's dead even, coming to the line. Does he have enough at the stripe? No, lap goes to Massetti. That was within centimeters of being Encarnacio's lap, as both of those drivers have dropped to the bottom. So the brothers running nose to tail on that bottom lane as we close in on just 13 laps remaining here in stage number 2. Side-by-side racing action for your top 6. Make it 8 spots on track as we begin lap 69 out of the 150 scheduled in tonight's official race distance. Stage number 2 underway, but will come to a close at the completion of lap number 80. Drivers making their way into 3 and 4, still side by side for the top 6 spots. Now Alexander Encarnacio pulling away through the center of 3 and 4. He's going to grab the lead and walk away 2 truck race length by the time they get back to turn number 1. Too wide for the second position as Austin Encarnacio looks to the inside of Trevor Massetti. Randy Cornwell and Brian Fine. Craig Burns right there, but not able to do anything at this point in time. The 22 right there with a great recovery. Oh my goodness! Pushing Austin Encarnacio, and he gets super loose, and around he goes. That's going to bring us back under caution, and that might just be the big one here. There you go, catching it late, but there you see all the trucks involved. Oh my goodness, one more look at this. Catching it late after the hard push on the rear of that 99 machine, and that has caught a ton of drivers out. We'll see if we can't catch another look at it. Oh my goodness. Ooh, tough impact for Brian Fine. More trucks piling in, more trucks involved. The 15 gets caught up in it. Steve Crapell gets caught up in it. Look at all of these trucks caught up in this one. Brian Fine, Austin Encarnacio, Zach Wilson, Chad Bessinger, Stephen Baldwin, Brandon Regal, Steve Crapell, all involved in this latest on-track incident, bringing us under caution once again. We'll check back in with the race leader, the 94 of Alexander Encarnacio, as Randy Cornwall will line up just behind him after a big push on the 99 of Austin Encarnacio. Got him out of shape into the outside wall, and then the big one here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway catches 6 or 7 truck drivers out, and that's going to put a lot of them down there on pit road, beating and banging away. Field comes to a crawl once again here in stage number 2. We find ourselves under caution. We'll have ourselves about a 5-lap run to the end of stage number 2. So we're going to step away for just a brief commercial break. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back. Back trackside as the Chevy Silverado pace truck ducked off. Green flag once again. We're back. Racing at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Alexander Encarnacio gets a good jump. Trevor Massetti right there behind him. The 22 of Randy Cornwell in tow. Garrett Davis, Craig Burns, Jordan Westfall, Robert Nestor, Ryan Izell, and Stephen Baldwin Jr. round out your top 10. Scott Taylor right there in the 51 machine. Final truck inside your top 10 tries to make his way a little further up through the field. Biggest mover so far of the race, that 51 of Scott Taylor. Massetti with a big wiggle there before the entry of turn number 3. Right in front of that 69 of Garrett Davis. And here comes the Little Mermaid on a run to the front. The 69 machine being piloted by Garrett Davis. Can he put that Little Mermaid 69 machine up at the front of the field? Lap 78 out of the 150 scheduled in tonight's official race distance in the Gambler 150. And here comes the big push. Big run on Garrett Davis. Inside, he's got the nose in front of Encarnacio. Cutting through the apron now, leading a lap. The 69 of Garrett Davis, just 2 laps remaining here in stage number 2. Can that Little Mermaid machine go up there and snatch away the stage 2 points? We'll wait and see. Big push on the back end of that 94 out of the 2 of Craig Burns. Burns with a huge push on Encarnacio, but now leading the field with no issues at all. The 69 of Garrett Davis going to come across the line. Final lap in stage number 2. Can Garrett Davis keep the field back behind him? Encarnacio looks to the outside. Not going to happen. Not going to work. Here comes the 22 of Cornwall out of turn 2. He's got to run. Not going to be able to get there, though. Here comes Encarnacio. Nobody going to get to the back end of that 69, so Garrett Davis, look at that. He has found the magic and contacting around the 22. Oh no! More contact between the 22 and the 94. They go hard into the outside wall and collect another driver with them. Oh my goodness, trouble at the end of stage number 2, but walking away with the stage win. Don't want to take anything away from that man right there on screen. Driver of the 69 Little Mermaid Chevy Silverado stealing the stage points. We'll go back now, see if we can't take a look at what happened between Encarnacio. There you see Encarnacio and Cornwall getting into each other hard into the outside wall. We'll look at it one more time. There you see the contact up to the outside wall. The 8 involved. Oh my goodness. Robert Nestor goes off track, avoiding the incident after slight contact. So I won't say avoiding the incident because there was some slight contact, forcing him off track. Whew. Tough, hard-nosed racing at the front of the field coming to the end of stage number 2. That catches out a few drivers and gonna put them behind the wall and in the garage for the rest of the night. And just like that, race fans, this night has gotten way different than what we thought it might look like, as the field all comes down to pit road here at the conclusion of stage number 2. Gonna have a few drivers staying out on track. Looks like the 38 of Zach Wilson gonna stay out on track, try to get a few points for leading a lap. Brandon Regal also staying out on track. Oh man, just like that, we've got multiple drivers back behind the wall here tonight in trouble. Their night may come to an end. Whew. Tough night. Tough break for a lot of these drivers out here so far here tonight. Well, while we find ourselves under caution, we're going to step away, pay a few more of those bills. You know how it goes. Got to keep the lights turned on to bring you all the great racing action, so don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back here trackside at Atlanta at Las Vegas Motor Speedway.
North Carolina, where the field is rolling out for the start of today's 400-lap race on this .625-mile racetrack. Here's the starting lineup. On the pole from Dawsonville, Georgia, in the number 9 Coors Ford qualifying and Winston Cup race from North Wilkesboro is underway. Everybody nicely through turns number 1 and 2 as Bill Elliott has the lead and Dale Earnhardt has jumped into second position, followed by Benny Parsons and Bobby Allison. His second win of 1987.
Back trackside as the field has already taken the green flag for the restart. The 38 of Zach Wilson stayed out on track with Brandon Regal. Both of those drivers jumping off to a good restart. Have the field just behind him. Craig Burns, first driver with the fresh tires, 10-lap fresher tires to be exact. Then Brandon Regal and Zach Wilson, but he's having a hard time getting that 2 machine up and around that 36 now, being able to do so heading into turn number 1. The 2 looks to the outside of your race leader off of turn number 2. Here comes Craig Burns. The 7 of Jordan Westfall looks to the inside of Brandon Regal. He's going to take that spot away. Now trying to see if he can't root his way by that 38 machine 2 and 3 wide for a moment through the tri-oval. Lap 88 now underway here in the WallBanger Racing Truck Series Gambler 150, live from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Staying out was the 38 of Zach Wilson, keeping the field behind him right now, and it is a tough battle right behind him. Fresh tires just behind him, and somehow Wilson able to hold them off, coming back across the stripe beginning lap 89 out of the 150 scheduled in the official race distance. Do want to take a moment to go through some of the timing and scoring here, as we do have quite a few drivers injured or behind the 8 ball, I should say, here tonight. 21 drivers took to the starting grid. We've still got 19 drivers out there on track and 13 drivers left on the lead lap. Battle for the race lead up here. Craig Burns looking to the outside of Zach Wilson. Wilson hugging that white line, forcing that two of Craig Burns to run the high side the long way around, but that's where you can keep the momentum wound up, so might just pay off for that 2 machine. Yes, it does. He's going to go to the outside and around that 38 machine. Burns stepping out to 2, almost 3/10 of a second race lead, as it's a 2, almost 3 truck battle. Back behind him for the second and third position driver, running third on track right now. That 94 machine of Alexander Encarnacio actually being scored down 1 lap, and he is trying all he can to get up there and put himself in a position to get one of his laps back. His brother Austin Encarnacio involved in an incident and down 21 laps here tonight, scored in the 21st and final spot so far right now. We'll have to wait and see if Alexander can get himself a good run here and try to work himself somehow back on the lead lap. Alexander being scored, I believe it is 2 laps down at this point in time in the race. But Craig Burns, my goodness, nobody has been able to do it so far here tonight, as we see the wounded Traxxas Toyota Tundra being piloted by early race leader Steve Crapell. Walked away with the Stage 1 win, but he has seen some better days here from Las Vegas Motor Speedway field going around him, putting him down yet 1 more lap. Back at the front battle right now for second and third position, Jordan Westfall, Stephen Baldwin, Zach Wilson battling it out here, as Westfall starts to pull away just slightly from that 59 of Stephen Baldwin Jr. and the driver right there sitting just to the inside of the 59 truck. That's the 22 of Cornwall. Cornwall involved in that incident with Alexander Encarnacio, and he's slowly trying to make his way up through the field, see if he can't put himself in a better position if we should get ourselves a caution flag at some point in time. And there you see with Encarnacio making his way by your race leader, he's going to put himself now down just 1 lap, and he's gonna fight hard for that. I can guarantee you that. Being scored down 2 laps, you desperately have to get back one of them the hard way. And contact right there between Encarnacio and your race leader. Close quarters racing off of turn number 2 between your race leader and Alexander Encarnacio. Looks like Craig Burns not giving up the fight, not letting Encarnacio have one of his laps back the good old-fashioned way. And you might want to look out. We could see some sparks as the 22 of Cornwall, he has closed the distance on the back of that 94 machine. And we've seen 2 times so far out here tonight, those drivers touching, and it has not ended well for either of them either time. Wonder how that 2 machine is feeling inside right now. Wonder what the conversation is between the spotter and crew chief about that 94 and 22 being so close and being right there with you. Gotta be very careful. Oh, and contact again, and around goes Burns. Burns spins to the inside, contact with the inside wall. Caution, flag flies once again here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway after contact between Craig Burns and Alexander Encarnacio. We'll take another look. Oh, right at you and into your living room. The 2 hard into that inside wall. And there you see it once again after some slight contact. Encarnacio off the track, back up on the apron and right into the side, and hard impact for that 2 machine on that inside wall. That's going to put him on pit road for quite some time. But tough, hard nose racing at the front of the field brings us under caution once again here from Las Vegas Motor Speedway field. Gonna come to a crawl, and we'll see who's ready to come to pit road and who's gonna stay out. With just 51 laps remaining, drivers are not within their fuel window here, but who's gonna come for the fuel and tires? Who's gonna wait for both? Who's gonna come get just tires? Who's gonna come get just fuel? We'll have to wait and see. Craig Burns going to bring his machine to pit road. Chad Bessinger, Zach Wilson, Jeff Carson, Chris Claude bringing their trucks to pit road. Alexander Encarnacio also bringing his truck to pit road. Lucky Dog going around on the outside, the 98. Getting one of his laps back now, receiving the Lucky Dog, getting back on the lead lap, so he'll restart from the tail end of the field, 14th on the scoring charts. So big time break there for that 98 of Brian Fine, and that actually kind of helps a few of the drivers that were being scored multiple laps down. They're going to be able to get, actually, they're not going to be able to get their laps back there, Dave, because your leaders stayed out on track, so nobody going to be able to get... Excuse me, I say get, I mean steal a lap back by being able to stay out and get a wave around. Only the Lucky Dog able to pick up a lap here. And, I said it earlier, race fans, the tire strategy and fuel strategy is something that we're going to see play out here throughout the night. We've already seen it happen. We've got, as it sits right now, your front 6. Last time on to pit road for 4 fresh tires on lap 82. Most of the field behind them, Craig Burns, Chad Bessinger, Zach Wilson, Jeff Carson, Chris Claude, all to pit road on lap 99. So 17 lap different tires between your top 6 and the next 6 right behind them. And we have got ourselves going to be about a 48 lap run to the end here tonight. So a little bit of a short track Saturday night shootout to find out who's going to walk away with the win here in race number 3 in season number 1 for the WallBangers Racing Truck Series. It's the Gambler 150 live here from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Oh my goodness, race fans, we've seen sparks, we've seen fireworks, we've seen fisticuffs, we've seen elbows, blows, door banging, wall scraping, all going on so far here tonight from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. What are we in store for the rest of the night? Well, there's only one surefire way to find out, and that's stay tuned here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. And as the Chevy Silverado pace truck lights go out, the field receives the 1 to go. We'll go back green flag racing this time by. Do want to take a moment to say thank you to each and every one of you out there tuning in here tonight to the Turn 3 Racing Network for the WallBangers Racing Truck Series Gambler 150. Without you, there'd be no us. So we appreciate you stopping by. If you haven't already, throw these drivers a thumbs up. Click subscribe, smash the bell over there on the right-hand side. Get notified anytime we go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Whether it's myself, Darkside Dave in the Cave, or anybody else back at the Turn 3 Racing headquarters, we do appreciate each and every time you stop by, and we appreciate each and every one of you, whether you're the friend, family, or family, or friend, or fan, or, well, you know what I mean. Late night, long night here for Dave in the Cave. So forgive me if I get a little bit loopy here. Drivers trying not to get loopy, because that means they're going the wrong way on the scoring charts. Chevy Silverado pace truck ready to duck off this time by. Field will be brought back to the green flag by the 7 of Jordan Westfall. Westfall hits the gas and green flag flies once again here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Massetti not getting a great jump, but looks like he should be able to take that second position away from Stephen Baldwin by the time they get to 2. There you see it pulling even through the center of 1 and 2. Now Trevor Massetti makes the big run off of turn number 2. He's going to slide in second. Looking for the tires to make a move. There you see Craig Burns' yellow truck outside row, trying to make some passes on the high side. Closing in on that top 5. Here comes Craig Burns. He's got Scott Taylor, Michael Sheffield, Stephen Baldwin all in his sights. And he has got the fresh tires, and I promise you, he is on the hunt. Front of the field, hot and heavy action. 5-6 trucks right here involved in the scrum for the race lead. They have a 1 second lead over the 38 of Zach Wilson. Wilson led briefly there after staying out a handful of laps. Now has some fresh tires, but having trouble getting his way back up through the field. Gonna jump back here with this battle in this second pack. Zach Wilson, Garrett Davis, Jeff Carson, Brian Fine, all right here battling it out. The 5 of Ryan Azell right there as well. Great close battles all over this track. Inside your top 5, back from about 7th through 10th. Also battling on track. Here comes that 69 with a big run off of turn number 2. He's going to look to the inside of the 38 of Wilson. Then trying to set his sights on the 23 of Bessinger. Back at the front, Stephen Baldwin Jr. now taking the race lead away from Trevor Massetti. Massetti sliding up to the top spot, to the top side, and that's going to open the door for Michael Sheffield and the one machine. But look out, race fans, here comes Craig Burns back to the front, now being shown in the 3rd spot, and he has got the freshest tires. He is on the move. Man on a mission after losing the top spot from contact, bringing us under caution. I believe that was not the last. I don't believe it was the last caution. It may have been. Can't remember. But hunting the front once again, the 2 of Craig Burns looking to put his machine back where he wants it to be, and that's in front of the field. But Michael Sheffield not having any of it, man. Big time move there to block the run on the inside. Now sliding back up to the top side, halfway down the backstretch. Now back into turn number 3. Your top 4 trucks all lined up on the inside lane. And the 7 of Jordan Westfall kind of stuck in no man's land out there on the outside. Nose to tail down the backstretch. First and second trucks one into Sheffield with the lead, but Burns hunting for it. Side-by-side battles back behind them. Fourth and fifth, Trevor Massetti, Chad Bessinger, Brian Fine, Jordan Westfall battling for a top five right now. And as I'm looking through the timing and scoring, looking through the pit strategies, nobody's going to be able to make it to the end on fuel. Even the drivers that stopped, they're under our latest caution. That was on lap 100 when they came and got fuel. They're not going to be able to run that thing 50 laps here. Oh, contact! Car into the outside wall. Slow Jerry Culver. And that 13 machine contact with the outside wall in his Copenhagen Chevy Silverado. Tough luck, tough break for him. He's going to fall a little bit further through the field here tonight. Now dealing with, excuse me, now dealing with the 11 truck, trying to make his way by. Chris Wold right there running on the lead lap, trying to make his way back up through the field. Has to go up there and see if he can't catch up with Jeff Carson. And no more contact. The 11 scrapes the wall. Back at the front, this is one of your closest battles on track. The 23 of Chad Bessinger trying to work over Scott Taylor, has Trevor Massetti and Jordan Westfall just behind them. Oh, and here comes Brian Fine. Let's go back up here to the front of the field, ladies and gentlemen, because we've got a three-truck battle now for your race lead as we cross the line that time by to begin lap 114 out of the 150 scheduled in tonight's Gambler 150, brought to you by WallBangers Racing Truck Series here on the iRacing.com platform. iRacing.com, the world's #1 racing simulator. If you want it, they've got it, and it's much cheaper to wad one of these machines up on iRacing than it is to do it in real life. Trust me, I've done it enough. Brian Fine, after getting the lucky dog, drives his way through the field and up to the top spot. So those fresh 4 good years feeling good on that Ford F-150. The Tide machine nice and clean at the front of this field. Now stepping out to almost a 1-second race lead. And this could spell trouble for some of these truck drivers should we get a long green flag run. Now Scott Taylor, Michael Sheffield having to bring their trucks to pit road. They're going to need some gas to get to the end of this thing. I believe they're going to be able to make it from here on out. But will Brian Fine be able to make it to the end? Can Craig Burns close the gap? Can Burns make it to the end on fuel? I don't believe either of these drivers can. It's going to be a matter of a splash and go, I believe, for Brian Fine. No tires down there in the pits for that 98 crew. So look for him to try to stretch this thing on out as much as he can. Now over a 1-second advantage on Craig Burns. Burns enjoys a 1-second advantage back to that man right there, the 59 of Stephen Baldwin. He's got Chad Bessinger, Jordan Westfall, Trevor Massetti, and Garrett Davis all in tow. Garrett Davis, keep in mind, won the end of stage number 2, bringing his 69 Little Mermaid Chevy Silverado some good playoff points here with that stage win. Your other stage winner, Steve Crapel, being scored out of the race after an early 2 incidents here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. And well, you know what they say about gambling in casinos. the house always wins, and it looks like the house has won here tonight, claiming multiple victims throughout the race night. We close in on lap 120 out of the scheduled 150 in the official race distance. You're watching the battle between 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Stephen Baldwin Jr., Chad Bessinger, and Jordan Westfall right here battling it out for who will take that 3rd and final podium spot, because Brian Fine has stepped away to a almost 1.5 second race lead over the 2 of Craig Burns. So I tell you what, race fans, why don't we go ahead and give you a little bit of action, a little bit of information while we're at it. I'm going to throw that on out the way, throw this one on up for you to let you see a little bit of the battle box here tonight as we ride with Chad Bessinger right there running in the 4th position, trying to take that 3rd spot away. There you see the battle slowly starting to go away as Jordan Westfall starts to pull away from Chad Bessinger for just a brief moment. The 59 of Stephen Baldwin, he's kind of stepped away as well. So as that calms down, we'll go ahead and get rid of that graphic for you. But up at the front, Brian Fine, look at that race lead. About 15 trucks separate him from his closest competition, Craig Burns, right there in the 2 machine Ford F-150, dominated front of the field. Toyota Tundra running in 3rd, Chevy Silverado in 4th. But I wonder if Fine can keep this up for another 27 laps or so, 28 laps. Or if he's going to have to slow the pace, bring it to pit road. We'll have to wait and see how all of that shakes out. And, well, you know as well as I do, race fans, if we get a late race caution, that's going to throw it all out the window. But Las Vegas Motor Speedway, one of the tracks known for long green flag runs, we'll have to wait and see if that holds true here tonight as Ryan Ezell on to pit road here for his final stop in his 5 machine. The 98 stays out on track, last on to pit road on lap 100 with 26 laps now remaining. He has been out on track for 24 laps since he has been to pit road. So does Brian Fine have enough tire? Does he have enough fuel? That's the big question. Drivers are more willing to risk it for the biscuit if they know they've got enough fuel in the tank. They'll big time slide there. That's going to hurt the tires. But doesn't look like it matters to him. He's going to stay out there on track now with a 1.2 second race lead over Craig Burns. Stephen Baldwin in the 3rd spot, but Jeff Carson brings his number 9 Toyota Tundra down onto pit road. Coming out of pit road, the 18 of Steve Corporal begins to get up to... Actually, that was not Corporal that was coming out of pit road. Not sure who that was. Very interesting. "24 laps now remaining as Brian Fine continues to lead. Craig Burns, Stephen Baldwin, Jordan Westfall, and Chad Bessinger round out your top 5. The 3 of Trevor Massetti back in 6th. Garrett Davis, Chris Claude, Zach Wilson, and Brandon Regal round out your top 10. Regal being scored the final car on the lead lap as Randy Cornwell and Michael Sheffield being scored the first 2 cars 1 lap down. Jeff Carson, Scott Taylor also joining them 1 lap down. Taylor and Carson onto pit road for their final stops here on lap 115 and lap 125. So both of those drivers onto pit road for the final time. When will your top two drivers stop, or will they stop? We'll just have to wait and see how it all shakes out with 23 laps remaining, 22 to go when we cross the line this time by, and he is sitting pretty, liking what he sees. 7 of Jordan Westfall, he breaks away for pit road. Brian Fine with a little bit of connection moment there, blinking for just a brief second. He's going to put the 7 of Jordan Westfall down 1 lap here. So now Westfall going to be scored 1 lap down, dropping through the scoring charts right now back to 12th. Will he lose another position? Looks like he's going to be able to stay out in front of the 9 of Jeff Carson for the time being. Oh, big time moment there for the 5 of Izell. Down there catching the apron a little bit loose. Ryan Izell close to being scored. I believe 2 laps down right now, trying to get one of those laps back the good old-fashioned and hard way by passing that 98 of Fine, but not being able to do so right now. He'll tuck back in line. Now look to make that pass on the backstretch. Oh, big move by the 98 of Fine way up the track after getting a little bit loose with the 5 of Ryan Izell right there all over his rear deck lid. And that's going to let that 2 of Craig Burns close the distance. He's now got that gap back underneath 1 second, now almost down to half a second as we are under 20 laps to go here tonight from Las Vegas Motor Speedway in the Gambler 150 for WallBanger Racing Truck Series. With green flag pit cycle underway late in the race, we are now down to just 9 trucks remaining on the lead lap. And Stephen Baldwin in the 59 is going to break for pit road. So that may just put us with 1 less driver on the lead lap. We'll have to wait and see if that holds true or not. But here comes Craig Burns. Was Burns maybe saving a little bit of the tires there? During this run, he fell back to almost 2 seconds at one point in time behind the 98 of Brian Fine leading the race, but slowly and surely, methodically, that 2 of Craig Burns has closed the distance gap now down to just 0.6 of a second, and they have stepped away from everybody because the 23 of Chad Bessinger sitting in the 3rd spot, about 5.5 seconds behind your race leader. So these top 2 drivers, they've got the field in hand, and I wonder who's gonna do what, who's gonna try to stretch it, and who's gonna go ahead and come down for a splash. We'll have to wait and see how it all plays out. Trevor Massetti brings his 3 machine down pit road. I'm gonna get service on that Chevy Silverado here with just about 16 now, make it 15 laps to go when we cross the line this time by, and that's going to put Massetti down a lap. We're going to be left with just 6 cars back on the lead lap now as we close in on the witching hour here in the WallBangers Racing Truck Series. This is when dreams are made or broken, race wins got or given away. And let's see if Brian Fine can make his way to victory lane, keep the field behind him because the gap opening up once again. Craig Burns now back 1.2 seconds. And I'm checking timing and scoring, and right now it doesn't look like anybody's out there saving any type of fuel. So it looks like either the 98 of Brian Fine and Craig Burns can make it absolutely on fuel, or they're just going to go ahead and run this thing on dry because they have got almost the entire field down one lap. Now only 6 cars remaining on the lead lap. Zach Wilson in the 38 machine sitting 25 seconds behind your race leader. Last car on the lead lap. No real battles to speak of on track as of right now, as Brian Fine continues to stay out on the track, continues to lead the race, has a 1.6 second race lead over the 2 of Craig Burns, just now coming off of turn 2 onto the backstretch. Big lead back to Chad Bessinger sitting in the 3rd spot, 7.6 seconds back to him. Garrett Davis back 8 seconds, then a full 23 seconds back to Chris Wold, and 27 seconds back to the 6th placed runner, Zach Wilson. 11 laps remaining. Now your race leader working into heavy lap traffic. Will that play into the hands of the 2 of Craig Burns, or will the 98 be able to navigate through the traffic and not get held up? Gets by the 12 of Culver. Oh, I'm sorry. Actually, that's the 12 of Jerry Hutchinson. Sorry about that. Jerry Culver actually in the 13. Hutchinson, driver of that 12 Gatorade Chevy Silverado. And Brian Fine makes his way by without any trouble. Michael Sheffield, there you see him just behind Craig Burns. He's trying to get himself back onto the lead lap, sitting in the 7th position. First car 1 lap down in the lucky dog position. But Brian Fine, I don't think he's going to stop. I think he's got enough to make it to the end. And if he doesn't, he's trying it. 9 laps remaining. It's too late to try to come and get fuel at this point in time. So look for that 98 to try to keep it out front as he works his way off of turn number 2. Craig Burns and Michael Sheffield slowly closing in on them. Here comes the 7 of Jordan Westfall. Westfall, he's right there battling with Sheffield for that lucky dog position. Ooh, almost a 3-wide battle there for a second, and that is not for position on track between all 3. Lucky dog battle going on right now between the 1 of Sheffield and the 7 of Westfall. Looks like Westfall gonna slot just in front of Michael Sheffield. Set his sights on the back end of that 98 machine, and look how much he's catching him through the center of 3 and 4. He's gonna be all over his rear bumper. All over the bumper, and smart move by that 98 of Brian Fine not to fight it, not to worry about that battle. Here comes Michael Sheffield. Not sure if the 98's going to worry about keeping himself in front of him either. He's only got 1 man to worry about behind him, and that is the 2 of Craig Burns. Brian Fine trying to stay in front of the 1 of Sheffield, not going to do him any justice or any good. A little bit of blinking action going on once again out of that 98 of Brian Fine. So we'll check in here with the 2 of Craig Burns as he tries to run down the 98 of Fine. Bessinger back 5.8 seconds from this 2 truck. And I wonder if maybe trying to steal a little bit of a draft there off of Sheffield might be what Fine is doing, because all of a sudden there you see Craig Burns, he let out of the gas. It looked like he let out of the gas big time and let that driver go. Looked like he wasn't going to waste the time, energy, or fuel on trying to keep him behind him, but Craig Burns trying to slowly stalk that 98 of Brian Fine. Can Burns get that Menards Jack Lynx? The Ford F-150 up there to the top spot. We'll have to wait and see how it all plays out, how it all shakes out. Here comes the 22 of Randy Cornwell. Cornwell onto pit road on lap 134, but we have less than 5 laps remaining. And Brian Fine, he's going to try to do it, race fans. He's going to try to make it to the end from lap 100. That'll be 50 laps on the fuel and tires, and oh my goodness, connection issues going awry right now for that 98 of Brian Fine. Hopefully it can make it and it sticks it on out to the end of this thing. What a heartbreak it would be if the 98 lost the connection at this point in time with only 3 laps remaining, leading the field. Oh my goodness. Very tense moments here coming to the end of the race with only 3 laps remaining. Craig Burns trying to get up there and catch up with Brian Fine, but Fine slowly walking away from Burns. Now almost a 2-second race lead as it looks like Burns throwing the parachute there for a brief moment, maybe needing to save a bit more fuel. Is he out of gas? No, he is just coasting right now, way out of the gas through 1 and 2. Right there is Greg Burns, but he's going to keep this second spot, I would suppose, because Brian Fine through 3 and 4 back to the tri-oval. Flag man has it in hand. White flag here from Las Vegas Motor Speedway in the Gambler 150 for the WallBangers Racing Truck Series. Just one more lap for this 98 of Brian Fine. Does he have enough fuel? I think he's out. He is big time slow. He is out of gas. Brian Fine gonna lose the race out of gas. Craig Burns makes the pass. I think Burns is out of gas. Oh my goodness, here comes Chad Bessinger. Not close enough. Craig Burns gonna steal the show. Oh my goodness, and heartbreaking end to the night's race for Brian Fine. Fine still trying to make his way to the start-finish line. Oh man, that's gut-wrenching and heartbreaking right there for the driver of that 98 machine. Had the victory right in his sights, but running out of gas, giving the race win to this man right here, the man on the screen. The 2 of Craig Burns gonna walk away with the race win, and we'll have to wait and see if he's got enough for a celebration or not. But while we do all that, we're gonna get things set up, ready to go for our post-race interview. So don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We will be right back. Back trackside here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, the Gambler 150 in the books. What a race it was coming to the end. Drivers running out of gas. Oh my goodness, what a crazy ending to a great race here tonight. We'll see if we can't catch up and have a few words with the driver finishing in the third place here tonight. Let's see if we can't catch in and have a few words with the driver of that 69 machine, Garrett Davis. It's Dave in the booth. Got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, first and foremost, hell of a paint scheme.
Thanks, man.
I absolutely love it. I've got two daughters of my own, so seeing a Disney paint scheme out there and it be the Little Mermaid, I mean, come on, man, that's cool.
Yeah. Always, I'm going to have something probably a little different every week, but always something fun on my truck, nothing too serious.
All right, well, that's one way to approach the races here, not being too serious, but walk us through a little bit of tonight's race. Walking away with the biggest mover of the race, up 12 positions from where you started. So you had a heck of a run, a heck of a drive. Walk us through a little of your race from where you were.
Yeah, the race, actually, qualifying started off horrible. I duffed both of my qualifying laps, so starting off 12th, or what was it? Starting off 15th is not what I wanted. I should have probably been a top 10 qualifier, but duffed those, so I knew I was going to be able to drive up a little bit in the field. And the end of the second stage, I actually had a lot more tires left than I thought, so pushed it up and was able to get the stage win. And I knew it was going to be a little bit of a hornet's nest after the week went back green, so decided to hang out in the pits and eat a little PB&J sandwich and start a little bit back further in the field. And then I realized after that caution on lap like 96 that was going to be really close to making it, so I came in the last lap possible on that caution and filled it up and rode behind a few trucks and was about 80% throttle that entire last stint.
Well, man, it was a great run to watch. You ran from the back of the field back up to the front. It was awesome to watch you make some moves and grab that stage win. Great to see you finish with a third place here tonight. No, it's not where you may want it to finish, but a third place, nothing to hang your head about. Congratulations on the great run. Before we let you go, though, would you like to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous? Thank anybody on the side of the truck besides Scuttles?
Yeah, first off, my girlfriend, and then all the admins of the league. They do a great job. You as well. It's a great broadcast, and all the guys at Evolution. It's a great group of guys. We're always working together.
All right, my man. Well, once again, congratulations on the great run, and we'll look forward to catching up with you maybe next week. What do you say?
Yeah, for sure. Sounds good.
All right, my man. We'll see you then. All right, there you have it. Driver finishing in third, walking away with the win in stage number 2. Driver of the 69 Little Mermaid machine, Garrett Davis. Man, I just love saying the Little Mermaid machine. That's awesome. Absolutely awesome. Let's see if we can't catch in a few words with the driver finishing in second here tonight. Driver of the 23 truck, Chad Bessinger. It's Dave in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, how you doing?
Doing pretty good. First and foremost, let me go ahead and smack myself around a little bit and see how bad I've been butchering your name all night. Can you go ahead and just pronounce your name for me?
Yeah, it's B-Singer.
B-Singer. So I was like...
Close.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Close but no cigar. We'll just keep it at that.
Yeah.
Well, man, walking away with a second place finish here tonight. How'd the truck feel for you out there? And at what point did you think you were going to be able to bring it home in a podium spot?
It felt good. I mean, my setup was pretty loose and stayed that way, which is kind of how I wanted it. After that last pit stop, I had in mind that I was going to try to go the rest of the way, and I just didn't know how many people in front of me were going to be able to do the same thing.
Well, you were able to stretch it all the way to the end there. Unfortunately for one of the drivers, they weren't able to stretch it. At any point in time during that final run, did you save any fuel at any point in time to be able to make it to the end?
A little bit. When Randy, he was a lap truck. He was behind me. I let him go around me and then tried to stay up to him until he pitted. And after that, I was pretty comfortable with the numbers I was getting. Um, and I made it all the way back around and into my pit stall, and that's when it conked out.
Well, Chad, man, a great run for you in the entire 23 crew. Great pit stops for you all night long. No pit road penalties, anything of that nature. Had a clean race, so nothing to be really too upset about or too disappointed with. Second place isn't where you may have wanted to finish, but always good to finish in the top spots. So before we let you go, would you like to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, thank anybody on the side of that truck?
Oh, well, thanks to my teammates, Jeff, Robert, Chris, working together on setups and stuff. A lot of fun as always.
All right, my man. Well, Chad, congratulations once again on a great second place finish, and we'll look forward to catching up with you in the next coming weeks.
Thank you.
All right, there you have it. That was the driver finishing in the second spot here tonight. Now let's see if we can't get back down trackside with the man of the hour walking away with the race win. The two of Craig Burns. It's Dave in the booth. You got your ears on, bud?
Yeah, I got you, Dave.
Hey, man. Walking away with the top spot after some late contact, then having to work your way back through the field. Did you think you had what it took to get the job done?
I feel like the truck was pretty good tonight. We got in that little accident there with about 50 to go. I came down pit road and I knew our field window was 47, so I guess luck of the draw, we saved a little gas and walked away with it.
Well, man, as I said, there, exciting race for you. You were leading a bunch of laps there. Contact, hard impact with the inside wall. You went down, got the machine fixed. What goes through your head in a situation like that? Who calms you down?
Oh man, you just gotta be calm and collect the whole race. Everything. It's racing, it's just gotta zone everything out, just get in the zone and let her go.
Well, man, you're the first driver to walk away with a win that hasn't been named Alexander Encarnacio this season. I know we're only 3 races in, but do you think, even with the way the race played out at the end with the fuel strategy, do you think this gives you and the 2 crew any momentum heading into next week's race?
Yeah, for sure it does. And for the rest of the season, knowing that we're locked in the playoffs is a huge burden off our back. And hopefully we carry this momentum through the rest of the year.
Well, Craig, my man, once again, congratulations on walking away with the top spot here tonight, the race win in the Gambler 150. Before we let you go and celebrate and enjoy the showgirls at the casino, you want to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, thank anybody on the side of that truck?
Yeah, definitely shout out to everyone that raced in this league. WallBangers, our head admin, Steve Capella. I know he works his tail off to make this show happen. Everyone at WallBangers, Jordan Westfall, Rain Cornwall, just everyone in the league, and you up in the booth. I know you do a great job. And shout out to my dad. I know he's out there watching. And I want to say, hey for Brian Fine, man. I know he was trying his hardest to save there with me.
Well, my man Craig, we do appreciate the kind words, and we look forward to catching up with you next time, hopefully in the same kind of situation when we hit the track once again.
Yeah, appreciate it.
All right, there you have it. Driver that walked away with the race win, walking away with the top spot here tonight, the 2 of Craig Burns. Man, oh man, what a race it was. Tough night there for Brian Fine. Running out of gas coming out of turn number 2 on the final lap. That is a tough Tough pill to swallow, tough way to lose the race, but nonetheless, well, that's kind of how the cookie crumbles sometimes, and that's just the way it goes. Heck of a race here tonight from Las Vegas Motor Speedway in the Gambler 150 for the WallBangers Racing Truck Series. Whew. Another great race in the books. It's all said and done with, race fans. What a crazy night. We had some great racing action there in stage number 1. Steve Crapell walking away with the stage win in stage number 1. Then Garrett Davis walking away with the win in stage number 2. Craig Burns going to walk away with the race win. Stage number 2 had a little bit of craziness, some great hard-nosed racing action going on, and some victims at that. It looks like the producers are ready to wind things on up. They're hitting the music button, so you know what that means. It's time to run down tonight's unofficial race results. They look a little something like this. Walking away with the race win, the 2 of Craig Burns. Finishing tonight's race in the second position, the 23 of Chad Biesinger. The 69 of Garrett Davis going to come home in third. Jordan Westfall slots home in fourth. Fifth place, after leading the race on the final lap and running out of gas, the 98 of Brian Fine will round out that top 5. Sixth position goes to Chris Claude, while Michael Sheffield brings his one machine home in 7th. The 3 of Trevor Massetti slotting home in 8th. Ninth place goes to Jeff Carson. Stephen Baldwin Jr. rounding out your top 10. 11th spot goes to Scott Taylor. Zach Wilson gonna finish in 12th. Ryan Ezell coming home in 13th. 14th place goes to Randy Cornwell. And rounding out your top 15, Alexander Encarnacio. The 8 of Robert Nestor gonna come home in 16th. 17th goes to Jerry Hutchinson. Jerry Culver in the 13 machine gonna slot home in the 18th spot. 19th goes to Brandon Regal. Steve Crapell gonna come home in the 20th spot after winning stage number 1. Austin Encarnacio will round out the field for tonight's Gambler 150 live here from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Want to thank you, race fans, once again for stopping by here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Whether it's myself, Darkside Dave in the Cave, or anybody else back at the Turn 3 headquarters, we do appreciate each and every time you stop by. And with that being said, well, stay safe, stay loved. Till we see you next time, my friends, we'll meet you in Turn 3.